Sam Roberts, on a Friday afternoon, managed to grab a word with Mike Rayer ahead of the Cornish Pirates match game tomorrow. Mike, how is it feeling? This is where it gets a little bit more. You narrow your eye line. You look a bit more serious. It does feel as though this is business time, as it were.
Yeah, it's a short turnaround from last Sunday, but in many ways it's been a long week. I thought we brought a lot to the game last Sunday, but we never won, and that's the bottom line. So we're under a bit of pressure this week. You obviously got to win your home games, so that's down to us to take the game to Cornish Pirates and take the challenge up and make sure we get the 4 points. It's not going to be easy. Recent history, this year has shown the 3 games we've had against them have been less than a score, and I'm sure that, again, we're in for another nail biter tomorrow, which is great for the neutral, not great for the coach's health on both sides, I'm sure.
How is it playing a side in such close proximity? Is that something I suppose you don't really encounter too much nowadays, but playing a side which you get to know about? You mentioned in the press already, it's only half time. It's a bit of a funny one.
Yeah, it is. But lucky enough, I was able to sample that in the Heineken Cup format as a player. So I've been through it before as a player. Maybe obviously it's perhaps slightly different from a coaching perspective, and obviously different for our players going into it. But the bulk of the analysis and game plans were set out a few weeks ago. We tweaked a few things going down to Cornish Pirates. Maybe caught them a little bit on the hop with some of the stuff we did, but they'll have equally now looked at our game, and we're not looking to pull any more tricks from our sleeve. What we weren't last week, it was a couple of things really that we found fault with, was really our accuracy first half, and some of the discipline issues. And I know the Pirates give a few penalties away, but we certainly got at the key time of the game, we got on the wrong side of the referee and give away some penalties as well. So there was a lot of indiscipline, I suppose, from both sides. So I guess we'll both be looking at that and trying to steady things from that perspective. There's 2 outstanding goal kickers out there, let's not forget, and often games are decided by goal kicking. So we want to make sure we, if we are going to get a result, it's by doing it through what we perceive as ball in hand, and not allowing perhaps the referee to have a final say on the outcome. We certainly want to take that out of his hands, and I'm sure Pirates will probably say the same. But look, if it takes 6 penalties, it takes 6 penalties from our perspective. But we certainly don't want to be giving away any cheap points and cheap field position to Cornish Pirates. They're a very, very good side. They've kind of built momentum through the season, and if you look at last Saturday second half, I was very impressed where they scored that second try, and they just gained a huge amount of confidence from that, and they went on. And at the end of the day, even though we're 18-10 up, there was seemingly only one winner at the back end of that game, and that's credit to them. So we know if we get into that position, we can't let them off the hook, because at some stage they're going to come back at us, and we have to finish the job.
Walking up here, the pitch was looking wonderfully manicured. Norman just putting a few finishing touches to it. The sun is shining. It all bodes well. One interesting change to the back line, and that's the addition of Brendan Burke back at 13. What does he bring to a side? How does he change your back line?
Well, look, he offers heaps. People forget Brendan's a very experienced player. He came through the Leicester system, with the likes of Brian O'Driscoll and Gordon Darcy. He was in that age group bracket there that came through them. So they're 28, 27, 28, 29. Got fantastic skills, got a kicking game. He's elusive in attack, and he's brave in defence. So for us, he's instrumental. And we've got to put him into space. And it's a big ask for him to back up from 2 weeks ago. So. But he's more than capable on his day. But I'm sure they'll have made plans to counter that, and if that's the case, hopefully we'll open a bit of a space up elsewhere. Well, that's the nature of the game. It allows us to put Miles back at 10 for him to run the show, and also Chris Goodman coming back in at 8. It was a bit of a forced change really in the end with Alex Ray, but that's the route we've gone down, and it's great to have Goody back. I think he's a real talented footballer. Again, with real good pedigree coming from Bath, and hopefully he can have a major impact on the game tomorrow.
And looking right down to 22 across the bench, it all looks pretty good. that's where it's going to be almost one, isn't it? 22 players, everyone playing their part.
Yeah, I think so. And again, going back to the Pirates, I certainly thought their bench had an impact last week, and they came on and gave them a bit of vigour and a bit of enthusiasm. And when you look at to have Ollie Dodge back there is fantastic for us. Obviously got the experience of Nick Walsh there, and Ben Lewitt, who's been playing well, and very unlucky not to be in the team. Thankfully Phil Bolton's back fit as well this week, so been pleased with the front row last week, but it's great to have Phil back on the bench and across the board really. Hopefully these guys can make an impact and make a difference when they come on.
We're halfway through this playoff structure. How's it been for you? This is an experience for everyone, but how's this playoff structure been for you?
Yeah, it's challenging, but nevertheless enjoyable. I think it's really focused our minds this time of year. I think maybe in the past we've all thinking about our ironing our boogie boards, ironing our shorts and waxing our boogie boards, but that's it definitely hasn't been the case, and we actually haven't planned too far ahead. Really, we've really given every game the maximum focus, and I think if you actually sit down and think about what's left, there's not a lot, but what there is in front of us is hugely challenging and hugely intense, and I think we actually came through a period early in the season, well, I should say not so long back, where we played 3 games in a week, Aberab, Barbarians and Moseley. I really think that was a key turning point for us. We almost became battle hardened in that week, and that's what you need going into these games. I mean, fair play to the Pirates, they battled last week and hung in there when they needed to and got the result, and that's what we're going to need a hell of a lot of tomorrow and moving forward.
Well, try and enjoy it tomorrow afternoon, and I'll speak to you after the game.